Hey guys, Christmas may be over, but we can still gift ourselves some great discounted train games. First up is Train Sim World 4. It doesn't seem very long since this game's been on sale. In fact, it seems to be on sale since it actually came out. It is currently 45% off. This would be the one to get, probably this or the deluxe. Now, if you go back down to the bottom, you get the regional ones, but essentially they are £23.03 and these are £21.99. And you seem to get more stuff on the standard rather than the regional, so yeah, go for that one. Next up is Trainz. Now we're looking on this page here, as you can see, they seem to have discounted everything all the way back from Trainz 12, which is £3.23. A new era, the next one, which is £2.32, which is strange that was cheaper than the game before it. 19 was the next one along, which, yeah, £4.64. And all the way up to Trainz 22, where we are now. And if we look into the page, there's two versions of the game. We've got the standard and the platinum. Basically, a few more routes, and you get the new surveyor tool. Trainz is actually on sale on the website and on Steam at the same time this time. Didn't seem to be in, was it October time? Certainly not when I made the video. But it's a little bit easier to actually work out what you get on the website. So, Trainz normally the standard edition, 6 routes, legacy builder, the original builder, absolutely fine to use. So if you want to use it, no problems. Multiplayer, never tried it, can't comment on there. Then you go down to the platinum version, you get 5 bonus routes and 25 bonus locos, 400 locos, cars and wagons extra. I presume these are part of these routes actually. Then you get the actual proper software add-on, the new thing, which is Surveyor 2. It's nice. As I say, I've got videos on this which will be linked in the description if you want to see how it works. So then we get to Trainz Plus, then you get some brand new features. You get the brand new features first. This is the bit I don't particularly like. I don't mind them giving away brand new features on the subscription. What I don't like is when the fixes and stuff come through, because they get them first as well. That I really dislike. I've discussed that many times. Experience new content first, exactly the same as that really. Again, another tier of the multiplayer. HD terrain. The only problem with that is going to use more resources on the PC, so I'm not sure how, on a large route, how useful that's going to be. And then you get to the Trainz Plus Gold. And that you get everything, plus you get full DLC access. It's essentially everything in their stores you're supposed to be able to access and download and play. The next game on our list is Station to Station. This is essentially a puzzle game. I've just covered this again. They've done recently an update on it, which takes it. You can press a button to get rid of the GUIs and maybe a few different modes. So you can mess around with the cameras also. It's quite nice. It's still pretty much what it was when it first came out. You go through the levels, and as you go through levels you turn it green basically, and the whole idea is to turn the whole map green, connect it all up, and there you go. The price is 30% off, which is £10.49 right now. Railroads Online, what a fantastic game. I bet most of you can actually know what this game is. It's 30% off at £19.59 right now. Or you can get the bundle with their older game as well, which I got originally when I bought it. American Railroads Summit. So originally they brought out this game. They took it as far as they could. They decided to change game engines and they brought out Railroads Online. It's been very successful. Diesel Railcar Simulator. I don't know why none of you actually know this game. You should. It's fantastic. It's set in 1960s sort of UK. You got all the diesels around that sort of area. It's just when steam's just gone and diesel's just coming out. Controls of the locos are so simple because they're mechanical, and so it's pretty easy to learn. It's got 3 maps and various routes and scenarios within that for you to play. It's fantastic actually. I really like it. So there's long routes, short routes. You will enjoy this game if you enjoy driving trains. Yeah, it's 30% off at £11.72. You won't be disappointed. It recently had I say recent, it's about a year ago, had a graphics update, and it's made it even better. So what he did first was to make the gameplay good. He concentrated just on the gameplay to get that working well, and after that he's added the graphics on. So can't recommend this game more. Railroad Engineer, what a super little game. I'm playing this quite a lot. I think one number 7 we just come out. I bought the last one on Christmas Day actually. I don't know, sort of snow update. You can see update 7 here. What I like about this is a single dev. He'll listen to you. This person will listen to you, and if you have thoughts on what you could add to the game, he will try and do it. I think it's a he. The game is so cheap. Where's the price? There it is. It's currently £4.25, 50% off. It's worth a lot more than that. Oh, it really is. And there's two modes of the game. There's a sort of campaign, there's an open world game. At the moment on the channel, certainly I'm playing the open world game. You start up on a little map, randomly generated map, and then you place a little village down, and then you want to service that village with certain things, and you want to build the village up. But to be honest with you, this is messing around running trains. You'll drive each one, you'll do each industry chain, and no, it's well worth the money. It really is. You should go and buy that. Rolling Line, what can we say about Rolling Line? It is a model railway game. Started out in VR, then brought it onto desktop. You can see, look, positive, overwhelmingly positive. You are an invisible person, you have a control in your hand, you can actually control any of the trains you want. There's a small bit of automation, so you can actually, well, I have done this a couple of years ago, I actually created a route, because it's got mod support as well, so I made it a little bit more real looking than you see on the visually here. And I automated a lot, and it can be done. And he's added a lot more automation as well. He's gone sort of off piste a little bit, where you can actually go first person in the game and go do little puzzles and things as well. So you could technically make your own game within the game if you want now. Yeah, what's the price of it right now? It is 30% off at £10.84. Well worth that money. It should be in your Steam library. Tracks, we can't really miss out Tracks now. It's a fantastic game, another fantastic game. Do you remember your childhood of the little wooden trains on the floor on the little wooden track? Well, that is Tracks, isn't it, basically? There's two modes to the game. There's a puzzle variant where you basically have to get the passengers to the station. It pops up and then you have to add the tracks in between. It's timed, you have to do a certain amount of passengers within that time. And where the stations are put each time gets more and more and more difficult, and fantastic. Second thing is it's a completely open world sort of layout, and you can just build what you want really. And last time I played it a couple of years ago, well, on the channel, it's just had one train you can play at once, but now you can have multiple as many as you want. And I know he had a little time away from it, but he has indicated he's back and working on the game again. So let's just see where it goes. It's currently 40% off at £12, £11.99. Transport Fever 2, the third in the series. Yes, the third. Not the second, the third. Train Fever, Transport Fever 2. Recently had an update adding controls and stuff like that, and honestly, it's my favourite train game. It really is. We played it many, many times on the channel, and I probably will out again. I think it's been out since, was it 4 years now it's been out. And it's really, really refined. You can play it on the Steam Deck, pretty high, pretty sort of a medium-sized map. The Steam Deck's not a powerhouse, and if you can play this in reasonably high graphics and an okay frame rate, that it's been well optimized, this game. It's also on console as well, but on Steam here it's £16.75. It's also on Epic. I think it's also on Gold, but Steam would be where to buy it simply because it's got the workshop. The game itself, fantastic. Can't recommend it enough. If you haven't got it in your library, why? Sweet Transit, yes, recently been updated. When it first came out, you had to place a town. Then you had to place the industries well outside the town, so to force you to use the trains. Now you can place pretty much anything anywhere, and it does make it more interesting because you have to think where you're going to place things. Got a little series going on the channel at the moment. It's going fairly well. It has got a few little bugs on it, such as the mixing passengers and freight on the same train. Doesn't always like that, and it does need a few more filters. For instance, now you can do that, put industries next to each other. Let's say they're using the same wagons. Let's say they use the same type of wagon. You've got two wagons on there. You set it to do 50% of one. You'd think one wagon would fill up and the other one would stay blank, which might fill up something else, but no, each wagon would be filled by 50%. So a little more thought needs to go into it. Now he's actually undone that sort of restriction of where you can place things. But other than that, great little game. As long as you actually know these little little issues, then you can play around it quite easily, and it is well worth the money. Also, again, it plays really well on the Steam Deck. The assets are quite low quality. It's instant. You can get 60 FPS at 5 watts. You can play this on a potato. You really can. It's one of those games where you're not playing because of the graphics, you're playing because of the playability. It does have it. It's £10.49, 40% off right now, and yeah, again, it's on the list for a reason. It's worth it. Railroad Pioneer. Crikey, this game is 20 years old. Yep, 20 years old. I did a video on this, 9 months ago now, and my title is Too Good a Game to be 20 years old, and it really is. In the video, if you watch it, I show you how to get the resolution out of 4:3 into 16:9. Also, basically up to 1080p. You can take it further if you want. It does look a lot better. The game still plays fantastically. Now, I did a little series earlier in the year of retro games, and some of them did feel, shall we say, retro. I enjoyed playing them, I enjoyed revisiting them because, I'm old, I played most of them first time round. But this one still felt fresh. It really does, and 79% off, 94p. This will play on Windows 11, it will play on Windows 10. I do recommend it. You should go and get it. Railgrade. I bought this when it first came out over on Epic. It's 35% off at £16.24. Now, it's just had this major new upgrade. Now, it says it's Sandbox Mode. Yeah, it's made it a completely new type of game. What we had before was a level-based game. So you get level 1, it'd be quite simple. You had to do a task, connect a task up. Level 2, a few more different tasks. You have to connect a few different stations up, make a little bit of money. Once you've done that, you generated that, you win, you go on to the next level. What you got now is one single map. Now, it says Sandbox Mode, but I'm not sure if you can switch the money off or not. But what you do have is the ability to, you start with a few different things. For instance, a mine for water, a mine for coal, a mine for oil. And I think you get the refinery, but then you also get a building, which then you can research. That's a new building for the game. You can research extra things. And so you have to deliver stuff to this building as well. And the map's big, and it feels, I don't know if it is, but it just feels better, the map. It feels like they've put some extra work into the maps for this mode. I didn't get that far on the campaign. I got bored. But on this, I can feel I could play it for quite a long time. As I say, if you've really got it, go try this mode. It's fantastic. And if you haven't got it, well, it's £16.24. It's well worth the money. Now let's look at some up-and-coming games. These ones aren't out yet. But, every once in a while, you're going to get a demo of this one. This is Train Yard Builder. They released the demo a couple times now. The whole game is to build your own train sets. There are various rooms which you will be given access to. You will unlock the rooms as you go through, which then you can put a different train set in. It is limiting to a degree that the trains, you can see that caravan could only place one way or the other. The demo which is available also, the trains would only go specific ways around the track. The train also, the wheels didn't seem to move. There's a few other little things you'll notice, like the bogies didn't turn with the trains. It was an early demo. Originally there was no controller with it. The version which we actually got hold of, there was no controller, but on the Christmas version they did show a controller which controlled the points and controlled the trains whilst they're running, or it seemed to. But this is one to watch out for anyway, so go and put it in your wish list, and if it's any good and I can get hold of it, I'll do a video of it when it does finally come out. Industry Giant 4. Yes, this was a random thing. I saw this on Reddit. It just got advertised to me, and then I looked it up and saw some other people chatting about it on Reddit. It looks quite good though, this game, doesn't it? When you look at the graphics. It says build an industrial empire from scratch in the Industry Giant 4, produce goods, build up your industries, construct transport networks, plan production, manage finances, navigate global events, become the next business mogul, and write history. And our last up-and-coming game, the one which is not out yet and which nearly everyone knows of, is Sensuous Steam. The YouTuber Heist is actually involved in this one. They do have their own YouTube channel. There was an update a couple of days ago which he was actually talking about Steam. So how the Steam comes out of the loco and how it would change and with different weather conditions. A lot of details have been put into this game. It's well worth a look. I'll see if I can put a link into their YouTube channel, and I would certainly go and put this on your wish list as well. And the absolute last game on our up-and-coming games list here is Running Trainz. This is a Japanese game, Japanese developer, based in Japan. It's a full driving sim, and it's only on Patreon at the moment. It looks fantastic, and he actually does have a channel, a YouTube channel. So look at that. This looks fantastic. It's well worth a look. At least go and bookmark the page for the on Patreon. I presume at some point this game will end up being on Steam, but I don't know when that will actually happen. But if you do want to try it now, just look at it. Now you can see it on the outside, so there's not much happening right now, but near the track there's enough. Well, I can't wait to see more of this one, and I'm sure you can't too. Well, anyway, that's going to be it for this one, so thank you very much for watching. I do hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please press the like button. If you see more, please subscribe and press the ding dong bell, and you know what it does. See you next time. Bye-bye.